All right.
Yep.
Hello. We're back on the 40-something project. 41 and a half? I don't know. 40 and a half? Something like that. Dave and Red did a great job. A lot of work in a short amount of time, but their time was short also. So it's unfinished. Much like every chop top, it's a ton of work after the first inspirational cuts. So getting into some of the details, we have the 41 window detail in the back where we added this. So the edge of the window has a different detail than the earlier car. Most specifically, you have your belt lines. You got the classic waterfall pattern, right? Down, down, down. But this dimension here, between the first rib and the glass, way different proportions. Look at that. You got a finger full. You got less than a finger. How's that going to look on a finished project?
Horrible.
I'd say so.
Everyone's going to judge you.
Hey, at a car show, that's what they do. They judge. You know what my remedy to that is? You're going to put the whole dang 41 door surround on this. This is a really good comparison right here. Comparing our belt lines. This is the same dimension, but look how much the window comes up about, what, 5/8, 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to cut all this up and put it into place. The good news is this is pretty close where we want it. So I think I'm going to mimic the cuts that are on the other part of it, on the B pillar, and put this window frame in all the way around. So we'll just set up a cut here. Doesn't have to be exact, but that general area, let's cut that out. That looks pretty cool. That being said, I'll put this here. Just shoot a line straight in line with that. And I can take this piece, begin to compare. Looks like the inside of this got to come out. You have to, where we, yeah, we're going to take a bit off of this because we are up. So let's cut through about that much. See how that works. Yeah, I like that. Looking for that line to follow right through. Just kind of eyeballing that, but keeping this cut up higher. Tack weld this on. What a tremendous difference between welding on a 40s Chevy than a Volkswagen. This metal is way thicker. So this is something I was discussing with Dave because these were not meant to be together. So you can see it's way out. I think we could do the half and half on this. We're gonna have to cut the inside a little bit. We're gonna lean this in. We're gonna cut the inside of this B-pillar. We're gonna see. We're gonna bring it right into a line.
Does that happen a lot when you're melting, like putting two cars like this together?
This is one of the biggest pitfalls in doing a chop top. Everything is just loose, wiggly. You can see the door is bigger too on the later car. Just gonna cut this whole inside right off because we're gonna have to adjust that. Once I get this all arranged, then I can flex this and get it shut proper. Come back to this. Yeah, so see, these angles look pretty good. I'm gonna take it down to this marker and try to do the half and half. So, you can see this, I don't like that at all. It's showing that here, but it's even more exaggerated on the door. See how much the dimension of the windows change?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have to obviously favor the inner side. That's the window opening. So that, as it is very tight, but we're close. So, yeah, I'm going to take off just a little bit more so we can have some gap in the top of the door here. A little more. Yeah, huh. Yeah. Yeah, right there.
And then how do you, are you gonna, I'm guessing you're gonna show us, but how do you get those two gaps then to like, is that like with sheet metal or you weld
I'll probably use a
that?
piece of flat rod, heavier, maybe 1/8 inch rod. I mean, a flat bar. Yeah, no, we'll get into that.
Cool.
I'll probably just redo the whole edge of the door on the outside here. Tack it in place, and then we'll discuss. trying to keep a decent gap across the top here, and you'll see that this was curved. So we're gonna have to work on that. So we got to start on this. So you can see I'm gonna have to modify this gap here for sure. I'm gonna continue this right around. Figure out how we're gonna put that together with this difference in curvature. You got the straight shot from the early car and the curved shot from the later car. That's why I saved the doors. All right. So I'm thinking, since this is good right through, I like this portion. I'm gonna cut right through here, add the gray car. Another issue is this. I want to put one piece glass in here, no wind wings. So look at this curve here. I don't know if you can register it, but right here where the wind wing, it's typical of cars like this. Straight glass and then it curves. See that? To put a straight edge. If you're gonna have flat glass in there, look at the difference.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna want to cut this off anyway and make that usable for flat glass. I'm gonna cut the inside of this out first, try to get some of this mechanism and glass out of the way. Then we'll check on the steel. Ain't much left. I'm gonna cut this right about here, just fit it up. Right, right. So hopefully this door is a lot longer. That'll make my life a lot easier. Ooh, look at that, just about the same size. It's not trying to make my life easy. Again, one reason I'll put such big welds is because that's just a placeholder right now. We were just trying to keep some strength in it.
Did you just make the flame go out? What was that little magic trick you just did?
Welding lesson. We went over this in another video, in case
But,
like you don't remember.
but you like made the flame go out because you hit it?
Because this is a shielding gas. There's no oxygen. Flame can't burn without oxygen. So each time you hit this trigger, that's what this tank does.
Uh-huh.
It's blowing.
Uh-huh.
Here, look. It's blowing argon and CO2 on the weld, so the weld doesn't oxidize or burn.
So that's what made it go out.
Party tricks.
Party tricks.
Obeys your friends at shop class. You show them that move. This is bugging me a little bit. Actually, it's bugging me a lot of bit. So I'm going to have to straighten this out by doing some slices through here. But the primary concern is this area. So if I was to take this piece of the door frame, right, kind of would almost fit. But when we chop it, start to lose a lot of that area, right? You got to fill that in. So we could fill that in with this. We got 2 welds through here. Made me think, what if I took the opposite door frame? In other words, what if I took this from that side and reversed it? So this one would go over there, and that one would go over here. There's almost there's one weld seam there, and a very little bit of cutting. How do you feel about that?
I think it definitely flows better.
I think so too. Let's grab the other door and explore, shall we? Now this did get smashed, so I'm gonna have to hammer that flat. But I'm just gonna take this dimension right out of there and see what happens. It's really dented, but I'll work on it. Yeah, smashed that is. Mm-hmm. And look, it ripped it all open too. That's what we got a welder and an anvil for. They body fillered the heck out of all this. With any luck, that's gonna fit on there. Okay, as always, I'm gonna cut a little big, fit it in. Yeah, I have to work through here too, but check out this line. Make that work. Attach that. Probably shouldn't have cut that thing, huh? I'm gonna cheat that just a little bit. Looking at this drip rail here, we're gonna have to do some work. Right now I'm just working on the look of this window. Everything else, all this can change, but that's the most important thing to me. It's like out here is gonna change. This is just gonna come up. Now to bring this up, I'm gonna cut right through here, do the same kind of thing. You know, a little short. It's okay, I got some metal. Watch me go. I have this 1/8 inch flat bar that I'm gonna repair this area with. So that's gonna be very strong. Watch how I do this. See how it's got this raised piece here? It's about 1/8 of an inch up. Watch me go. It's gonna make this joint super strong. See, I got this stuff. So I'm gonna put that in here. See, I'm gonna cut a little bit and I'm gonna insert this. That's gonna make it ridiculously strong. So sometimes a mistake isn't all to the worst. We're the only people that don't make mistakes.
I have no idea.
Liars.
Ah.
So just to get this party started, I'm gonna put this in, right in at this level here. Then I'm gonna put another piece on top right there and create that little rise. And already that's very strong. You see how this line is folded nice and straight right through? Clean this up a little bit. So this one, I'm going to stack right on top. And look, matches up with that other area. I can take the grinder, I'll cut right through. Weld the whole thing up. Got a good grab on that right now. So while that's cooling, I'm going to get in here and close up all these gaps. All right, so we got tacks all through here. Cool. So I'm going to address this and then that. And that's a good representation of where we're at. The wire will get a lot of this filler off before I continue to.
Is that what keeps on catching on fire?
Yeah, this car was pretty much body worked, you know, so it just has a lot of filler on it. I'm going to do the same thing with that flat bar here. I'm going to hammer it to fit the contour I want. I feel like this is too curved. So I'm going to kind of make my own door edge, and then I'm going to match it to the B. I'm going to match the B pillar, the body part to that. The same material, 1/8 by, I don't know, half, right? Come in and make a whole new door edge. I'm going to say that's to that. Then we're going to go bang, 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 bang. Let's say it all together, shall we? See that little step here?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to call that the banging step. Looks like it's curving to you.
Yep.
Let's see what it looks like on the car, Bill. Bill's the other commentator.
Oh, I see.
So this looks great.
Mind the gap.
Yeah. We're going to hit it a little harder through here. See what we got. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a little more curve through there. You see what I'm doing here, right? I'm hitting in the spot where there's nothing to support it. That's what's making it bend.
Oh, I see.
Sort of like the hammer and dolly on the sheet metal. This is some straight medieval ironwork stuff. Yeah, look at that.
I feel like you've done this before.
In a past life. Yep, I like it. So I'm gonna do the same thing. So you got the little step up right here. So I'm gonna work off the lower portion of the sheet metal. Cut this right out. Yeah, like so. Restore a little bit. A lot of people criticize me for not wearing gloves, but you can see, like, how are you even going to hold that piece without gloves, right? I mean, with gloves.
That's why we have the warning sign.
Ready?
Yeah.
That's a hot one. Don't want to overheat nothing. That's the ballpark we're going for. When I do get into gapping this, I can also always shave this down a little bit if I want to increase that gap, but that's the idea with this thick metal on the edge. So I'm going to work on this portion now. I think what I'm going to do here is just take a piece of sheet metal, and I'm going to use the shrinker. I'm just going to bring this hard line into a little more of a radius. I'm going to eyeball this because I know that tool and I know that tool. So I'm just going to take about this much. Put this in the brake and just split the difference. Got a 90-degree edge on it. All right, now I'm gonna put it in the shrinker and create that nice curve that we need to take the hard edge, hard join out of that. Where I'm going with this, it's gonna set right in there. So to achieve that, I'm actually not gonna need the shrinker, I'm gonna need the stretcher. Because we want to push this into a stretched shape. If I was to shrink it, it would reverse it. It would make this inside curve. So, guess what I don't have?
Stretcher.
Maybe I do.
How do you not have a stretcher?
I think I gave it to Alan. What would you do in this predicament?
The English wheel.
No, this is too small. Come on. What would you do in this situation?
Hit it with a hammer.
Correct. I like your style. Because if you squash this, it's going to expand this one. It's going to flatten it out. Like when you put a penny on the railroad tracks,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to start to stretch it.
We should really get you a stretcher, though.
Hmm?
We should really get you a stretcher. Or do you just like the...
I bet it's in this pile of stuff. It's not really something I would throw away. I just got to do some major housekeeping. Let's just get to the root of this. I've got to do some major housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I just hit it a couple times. It's starting to stretch it already. See how it's getting that curve? Open it up a little bit more. Not as nice arrangement as the stretcher would do, but it's curving it. Just gonna put a little love tap on this. Let's see how that curve looks. We got a long way to go. See, I'm trying to match this.
Mm-hmm.
So, a little more. Now I was gonna put some pressure on it while I hit. Give it a little persuasion. Doesn't have nearly as loud sound. All right. Just look. Getting close now. Right through here. Yeah. Hammer that right onto that. Make it count. Actually, I'm going to shrink it. See, that's why I have a shrinker. As we were. Love this tooth. Puts a little teeth back in it. All right, let's make a mark and then we'll shrink it. This back, this all fits great. But this area, this is good. The shrinker, if you don't actually use it as a shrinker, you can flatten this out as well. It'll just push it into shape. So I'm going to shrink it a little. I'm also just going to flatten this out. way too much. I just ruined it. Start over. Alright, so you can see we're in the ballpark now. That is very close. This is so beat up. There's really no remedying that. It's low, low all through here. So I'm just going to put this on top. I'm not really concerned with that. Trim out some of this. Looks like we're only going to need to come in right here. I like the rest of this. I'll just have a remedy of that. I can toss it once. That. So you can see what I'm getting now is a good representation of the gap. It's a little thin here, but again, I can run the grinder through this portion of it. This is going to need some work, obviously, here. That's to be continued. So I'm going to continue on the front of this, but it's the same deal. The drip rails are going to be shaved. So I'm going to take that same bar. I'm going to create this edge of the door and then do the same to this portion of the body. Just kind of fit it so that the gap looks nice. Any questions?
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap.